Let's go ahead and talk about game picks. It's that time.
Yes, it is.
All right, let's get into it.
Sorry, I had to flex on you this week.
Yeah, no, it was not pretty for the game picks for me. I mean, it wasn't horrible. I mean, at this point, look at this.
It wasn't stretches. I think when I say flex, when I do a clear the board 4-0, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
I had to flex on you. I got them all right.
You're 9-1 in your playoff game picks, and you're 4-0-1 with your against the spread picks. I'm simply 7-3 with my picks, with my straight up picks, and again 4-0-1 as you are in the against the spread. By the way, if you've listened to us at all about our against the spread picks, you have not lost a single dime with us. We are murdering
Spot on.
the against the spread picks right now. We are a combined 8-0-2, and we have covered every single one of the games so far. So if you would have bet on every single one of our takes, you would not have lost a dime, and you would have won a whole hell of a lot of money.
A lot more than what I want. Goodness.
So that's just one thing I had to get out of the way.
Yes.
I'm proud of us. We are murdering the picks, regardless of you being two picks ahead of me. And there's virtually no. It's impossible. I already know what your picks are going to be, and I think you already know what my picks are going to be. So we there's no way that we're going
swinging
anywhere.
for the fences. You're done.
And I'm not going out of my way to get these picks wrong. Yeah. I'm going to tell you what I really think.
I planted my flag last week, and I said I'm putting this competition out of. This is it.
You won it. You got it. I think we have the same picks here on out. We might go different on the Super Bowl, but we'll get to that bridge when we get there.
My point is, I was going all in last week on my pick, so yeah, we're back on top.
Insanity. All right, let's get to it. We got two matchups. We'll do our draft after we talk about the games that are to come here this Sunday, the conference championship. And we'll make our picks as we go along, but let's preview the games first, and then we'll talk about against the spread draft real quick at the end. Starts with Cincinnati taking on number 4 Cincinnati, taking on number 2 Kansas City in Kansas City. As Tennessee got knocked out, Kansas City will host this game. And man, you could not dream of a better matchup. It would have sucked if Tennessee would have won that game. To have the Buffalo Kansas City game in that round, and then to follow it up with Kansas City absolutely demolishing Tennessee in the AFC Championship game, that would have been so disgusting to watch.
I can't get past the analogy of using. You talk about seeing, basically, you're seeing the best games well before the championship. It just, I can't go. I got to go back to the '91 NCAA tournament, Duke versus Kentucky. I mean, the winner of this game gets to play UNLV, which is UNLV in the Final Four, and definitely UNLV was the defending champs, and they steamrolled everybody, beat Duke, beat them to a pulp the year before, blah blah blah, so on and so forth. So when you see this matchup, you had Duke slated to play UNLV, but what most people don't know is what was going on the other side of the bracket, and you had Kansas versus North Carolina, and Kansas wins, and Duke, David beats Goliath. They found a way to beat beat the unbeatable.
Mm-hmm.
To this day, I didn't even watch college basketball that closely even back then. But from the narrative from that time, from that day all the way to now, has always been whoever wins this game, Kansas never had a shot to win the national title. It was like if it was either Duke or UNLV. Fast forward, we got the divisional round. It is we are seeing basically what was supposed to be the AFC Championship. It's a foregone conclusion. Whoever wins this game is your AFC champion. Whoever wins this game, that's the team that's going to the Super Bowl. Whoever wins this game arguably should be winning the Super Bowl, depending on what goes on the NFC side, respectively. That's all so Yeah, you looking at these Titans that's facing way before conference title games, way before the championship games. It's just you're seeing the best teams right now play each other, and they meeting prematurely before the end, and
We got into the
yeah,
Buffalo
yeah,
Kansas
no,
City
no, no, no.
take.
I
We've
don't
done
want to
that.
drop that anymore. I just wanted to just to paint that picture. But yeah, seriously, I gotta really see outside of somebody just trying to make a payday, making a real bet on Cincinnati next week. I'm
I
just
mean, here's what I'll say. This game is going to come down to the first quarter.
Hmm.
Because here's the thing, and we've discussed this before off air, but Cincinnati is going to have to jump on top of Kansas City at the beginning of this game. They need to get what we both have stated. They need to get a 4-touchdown lead. And it's been close for Kansas City multiple times this year for them to be down, not just this year, but in years past as well. I mean, just think back to when Deshaun Watson was playing. 24 points wasn't enough. They had a 24-0 lead over Kansas City, and they came storming back, and they scored 21 points. They scored 28 points in one quarter.
It wasn't the points that was the problem; it was the time.
Yeah,
like you can go up 24, but you can't go up 24 early.
Yeah, so that's the thing. They, to me, I think Kansas City is going to come out flat in this game, and it's not because Kansas City is not a good team. The emotional toll that game this last week takes on a team against Buffalo, that's a dogfight. I mean, you got to think back to your Duke UNLV game. Did Duke come out on fire the very next game? No,
they didn't come out on fire against them. They just did what they needed to do to win.
Yeah, and I'm not saying Kansas City's not going to win this game.
What did they do? They efficiently beat Kansas from start to finish. Yeah. They controlled the game. They did a New England.
But you got to look at NFL games. After you get one of these big wins, that's the reason why I think a lot of people wanted this to be the AFC Championship game, Buffalo versus Kansas City, because that week off will give them that 1 week just to reprieve and be like, okay, we've gotten all the emotions out, because that was a massive game, and you get that break between that game and then having to tune up for that next fight, which is the Super Bowl, which is a whole beast in itself, but that's neither here nor there. This is a game where it's like, all right, you just took one of the most emotionally charged games
I get what you
in a very big spot. I do think that they're going to come out a little bit flat in the first half, and Cincinnati's going to have, or not in the first half, the first quarter. And I think Cincinnati's going to have an opportunity offensively to jump on top of Kansas City. And I feel like that's the only way Cincinnati is going to have any chance at winning. Even if they do it, I'm still thinking Kansas City is going to be coming and roaring back to win this game.
Right.
And I won't blink twice at it happening. It's just the fact that it is. I think that regardless of how talented this team is, we've seen it time and time again. They get in the tight game. They're in a really emotionally charged game. They're going to come out. I don't think that they're going to. I mean, hey, it'll be a testament to Andy Reid if this team comes out and just punches Cincinnati in the mouth and from start to finish wins this game without any question. It's not what I've seen over the last 4 years with this team. So right. I'm not expecting them to lose. I'm going to say it right now. I'm taking Kansas City in this game to win it, but keep an eye on the first quarter. I'm going to say this. Take Cincinnati's over for the first quarter as a prop bet. Take that, because Cincinnati is, I think, going to be able – they're going to have an opportunity there to get on top of Kansas City and just be able to put up at least a few points. If they put up 21, don't be shocked at that happening in the first quarter.
Yeah, I would say that is the only safe bet that's probably to be made for Cincinnati, is a first quarter prop bet of any kind of variation.
Yeah.
I would look into that. That would be a very real thing. I need to look into that, actually. But
the rest of the game, Kansas City all the way.
Yeah.
Quarters 2 through 4, and Kansas City's winning.
And and anybody already know. They probably just wait on the inevitable. Yeah, it is chalk.
Okay.
Absolutely. I mean, that's not taking anything away from Cincinnati.
Not at all.
This supposed to be a curtain call. That's all this is supposed to be. That is, and I'm trying to say that in the most respectful manner possible. It's just, this is not your time, Cincinnati. I'm going to be very clear. I'm speaking to the narrative. I'm speaking to the
You need an
NFL.
offensive line to win a championship. Sorry.
Yeah, I'm just saying. I've seen fluke anomalies where these certain teams just had no business in the Super Bowl. Just there, here they are. It makes for a very
crappy Super Bowl.
Yeah. Just
it's not
I'm
the
sorry,
matchup you want, and it's not. I don't believe it's going to be the
supposed to
matchup.
had somebody has promised us a steak dinner. There's tofu here. We could definitely eat. You know what I'm saying? I will live off of this type of thing. But do you understand the differences between a steak and tofu? It's like substance, nutrients, no satisfaction. Just like I got a game. I've seen plays. Was not really satisfied with this with the overall. You know what I'm saying? It's just
I think Cincinnati needs to be happy with the fact that they've had a run like no other. This is a team that it doesn't make any logical sense as to how they've gotten as far as they have.
They did to Tennessee what Tennessee did to, if I'm not mistaken, to New England. They came in and pulled off the upset when they were supposed to be a team knocking.
No, I don't accept that because
how you don't accept that?
Because Cincinnati's better than the Tennessee team, and they came out there and we both. To me, I know there's a lot of people that were big on Tennessee getting their horse back and getting.
I'm talking beyond this year, just in general. I know. Tennessee has been right there the whole time.
I know they have, but nobody who seriously watched football this year took Tennessee in that game this past weekend. Whereas New England that year, where Tennessee knocked them off in the first round, that year, everybody was saying, "All right, well, yeah, they've been looking a little weird, but it's fine. It's the GOAT. It's Tom Brady." 80% of the money was on Tampa Bay. Over 55% of the bets were on New England. Nobody seriously thought Tennessee was ever going to have a shot in that game. Whereas me, you, and anybody else who watched football this season, truly watched football this season, that's why it was basically a coin flip, a pick 'em in Vegas.
Okay.
So that's I'm not gonna I'm not gonna just brush that under the rug. Cincinnati was a real team this season, and was a team that, yes, offensive line excluded. It's a team that actually made sense in that regard as to how they made it. But when you're looking at playoff football, those trenches are what is going to be the number one thing that you look at. And hey, 9 sacks is 9 sacks. That's a lot in playoff football. So you got to watch out for that. And it's a big deal. So I think Kansas City has a better defense than Tennessee, and they're going to be able to really make Joe Burrow feel that a little bit more than what Tennessee did. And we already know Patrick Mahomes is not a turnover machine. The beginning of the season was an anomaly.
Mm-hmm.
He has not really turned the ball over since. And so he's going to take care of the football. Tyreek Hill is going to be on his A game. Travis Kelce's going to be on his A game. Jerick McKinnon, he still hasn't slowed down one bit. Clyde Edwards-Helaire came back and looked like he had a very productive day.
He looked okay. I don't know.
That was the most productive I've seen Clyde Edwards-Helaire look.
I'm highly critical of this run game. Their run game in general.
You just don't like that they changed up the style when they put CEH back there.
I'm impressed. It strikes no fear in me. If I was a opposing team, I'm like, yeah, put CEH in.
Yeah.
Because it's like when I see him, like,
you see number one back there, though, you're like, oh God, oh no.
That's what I'm saying. It's just a whole different story. It's like they get some get right in them, but CEH clouds their judgment. I don't know what I don't even saying get rid of him. I don't understand what the problem is. He's getting some kind of Rojo effect here, and I'm like, I'm not liking it. So
I'm just saying, yeah. I think Cincinnati deserves a bit more respect for what they've done. It's not just like a round of applause. You made it here. Could take your participation trophy and leave. It's like, okay, you guys are formidable, but you guys this offseason make a couple of the right moves. You stop being the Bengals in the offseason and make the right decision.
Right.
and fix a couple of things here or there. And Joe Burrow, Joe Mixon, Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, and that entire defense is going to be a force to be reckoned with in the AFC. And they could be a team like Tennessee, who's perpetually in the playoffs and just needs a play here or there to get them back into the conference championship and get them to the Super Bowl. And hey, you never know if they could win one on an off year or something like that, because it's going to be a dogfight between them, Baltimore in their own division for one, and then outside of their division having to face Kansas City, Buffalo, the Chargers, once they get their stuff figured out and whatnot. Denver, if they can get a quarterback. Indianapolis getting their stuff put back
New
together.
England.
Across the board, there's so many teams in the AFC
Miami,
that are just a
possibly.
few pieces away from being horses. Cincinnati, you have the best opportunity because you've clearly got all the pieces outside of the offensive line, and maybe depth on the defensive side, but Kansas City we just saw what they did to Buffalo.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, Cincinnati, you're not Buffalo.
No, it's asking a little bit too much. And it's like, as long as Kansas City comes in and they're able to successfully execute their game plan, they should be fine. You know,
I'm saying your road to victory, Cincinnati. Get as many points as you can score in the first quarter.
Because the mother three is subject to chance.
Yeah, you are really playing with, you're tempting fate in the rest of those quarters.
You better get them before that defense figure out what's going on in the game. Because I mean, it's not gonna be a big monumental jump when they do, but you need to have some points before that happens. I'm just saying, because when that offense get the clicking, it's a wrap.
It's over. So let's talk about the nightcap. San Francisco, number 6 seed, made it all the way here. They're in the conference championship to take on their division rival, the number 4 seed, LA Rams.
4 versus a 6. This is a crazy, crazy matchup. No 1, no 2, no 3. Like, no.
We got 1-2. We got 1-2.
I know. I was just saying in the NFC.
Oh, in the NFC. Yeah.
Like, get out of here. Y'all all pretenders.
Well, number 1 was a fraud. Number 2 got injured everywhere, and who was number 3?
3 just got knocked out.
I think
Tampa Bay.
No, Tampa Bay was 2.
Oh, Dallas.
Oh yeah, Dallas. Those frauds.
I'm thinking I had them 2.
The other frauds.
I had them 2 back. That's why I'm like, oh, okay, them frauds.
Yeah,
I thought Dallas immediately when you said that.
No, I was talking about the first frauds, Green Bay.
I just assigned them to 2 when you said fraud. Yeah, it must be Dallas.
So that, I mean, yeah. So yeah, there's no.
Remember them guys?
1, 2, and 3. All knocked out. The Rams, best team in the NFC, in my opinion. I'm not going to waste anybody's time. I am taking the Rams. The Rams are the team to beat in the NFC. I understand Jimmy G and Mr. Superman.
Make this real interesting, just to prove my point to you.
Go ahead and do it. Go ahead, do it.
And
give you that rematch.
Give you an opportunity, just to give you an opportunity to try to just make it look interesting going into the Super Bowl. I may or may not do that. Because I really do believe the Rams are going to win. So, as much as I think this is where the rubber meets the road, and the Rams figure it out and actually get to 49ers. I mean, we're chalk, but
okay,
I needed to say that. But what I'm saying, I am still super high on the 49ers.
I'm going to say this right off the bat. This is not going to be a cakewalk of a game for the Rams. This is going to be a test.
Do not be surprised if for some reason calamity shows up and the 49ers found a way. All I'm saying, don't be surprised if they found a way in this game.
No, be surprised. That's not going to happen. The Rams specifically,
you've learned nothing,
as long as the Rams, this is the Rams' keys to victory. Protect the football. Cam Akers, I swear to God, if I see that ball on the ground again, I'm going to lose it.
Well, that's a whole different subject if he fumbles again.
I'm just saying, take care of the football.
Course correct right there. Yeah,
take care of the football, and as long as they can stay healthy, this team is too good to lose football games. Just take care of the football, stay healthy, and just play your offense. Play that offense that you've been playing all year long. You will win the game. Go ahead and let that defense tee off, because now San Francisco's hurt. San Francisco's injured. They are a wounded duck. And even if Debo Samuels is good enough to play, he's not going to be 100%. Get a guy on him. Get multiple guys on him. Let that play out as it will. Trent Williams is more than likely not playing this game. That means Von Miller off the edge. Put him on the right side of the defensive line. Let him tee off on that new left tackle. Let him just free expose that and let them triple team Aaron Donald. Let them do that and let Leonard Floyd come off the other edge. They've got too many horses on the defensive side to let Jimmy Garoppolo beat them. And I'm sorry if they don't have Jeff Wilson Jr. either. It's Elijah Mitchell, and they have the defensive front to stop San Francisco. They've got the horses to do it. They basically did it with Leonard Fournette, and I'm more afraid of Leonard Fournette than I am than Elijah Mitchell.
Curtis Five is talking to you all right now.
Yes,
that's why I'm laughing. Like, you ain't got to tell me.
I'm looking at you, but I'm talking to the.
I understand, and I said, but now to me, I'm still thinking. That's why I'm chuckling. I'm like, there is this Superman.
I know, hey, go ahead. The box is still highlighted. You can take San Francisco,
like it's some kind of fluky thing, when it's a
not,
real
no,
thing.
It's not. I've alluded to this.
I'm laughing only because I'm not necessarily seriously considering it, but it's like, but damn, the minute this is how it works. The minute you dismiss it, there's a problem.
Exactly why I'm not dismissing it, and that's why I never brought up. I never brought up Jimmy G in this whole discussion. Because he does have some mystique about him where I've said it multiple times. He just wins, and I get that.
And this is the thing. It's like, okay, so you might have took out. Oh, go ahead.
No, he just wins, but he wins in the same that pixie dust that came along with Tom Brady is the same thing that I have with Jimmy Garoppolo. When his horses start going down, he doesn't have the pieces around him to help him do that thing, and hey, it happened just a couple nights ago.
I'm putting this on Jimmy G, not the 49ers. See what just happened is Jimmy G got a blueprint of watching what the Rams did to his protege, and Tom Brady knocked him out. Jimmy G's finna make all the adjustments necessary pregame to be like, look, I ain't gonna do none of that stuff that he did. I'm gonna do this other bag of tricks that I got that I didn't have to go. I had to go to Plan B. All I'm saying is, this is going to be a very interesting game. Probably more interesting than the Chiefs game.
By the way, San Francisco, I don't know. I think I mentioned it in a different episode. San Francisco has won both the matchups this year.
Yes, and I didn't ignore that. I just didn't speak to it.
31-10 in the first matchup and 27-24 in the second matchup in overtime.
Yeah. So all I'm saying, I'm giving them a puncher's chance, but ultimately, I'm taking the Rams. I just think the Rams have to.
What a Super Bowl that's going to be! Kansas City versus LA.
It's the Super Bowl we were supposed to have 4 years ago. So,
oh my God, you're right.
Yeah, so I was very in tune with this. I remember I told you who's your picks? I've never picked anybody. Bottom line was, I'm like,
this was my preseason pick.
I'm gonna say until further notice, I just kept saying Chiefs in the Super Bowl. I didn't have anything else. I have nothing on the NFC side.
This is exactly the Super Bowl that I picked at the beginning of the year. I said it. Kansas City is going to be back. The Rams are going to win the NFC.
Well, and I've already seen Chiefs 49ers, so I don't need to see that again. Anyways, with that being said, give me the Rams. Give me the team who beat the team. Okay, so and now we get to beat y'all. Take title back and be done with this. So, and yeah, all is well back in the NFL. That's the way I'm seeing it in my head. We'll see how this plays out in the next couple weeks. But with that being said, yeah, I got Chiefs over the Bengals and Rams over the 49ers.
All right, let's get these drafts done.
And you have no shot of catching me.
I don't.
So
I have no shot at getting the win on that, but I can still get these against the spread picks done. Call it.
Tails.
Got it. First pick. Chiefs are -7 at home versus the Cincinnati Bengals. He's probably going to pick that one, folks. And the Rams are -3 at home versus the San Francisco 49ers. What's your pick?
I think I'm going to take Chiefs at the house.
Sure am.
At the 7.
And I will take that Rams -3 line.
That's fine. I've been rolling with,
Hey, you taking them every single time.
Let me explain something. When you averaging 42 points a game in the playoffs, I'll take that. That line is severely small.
It's microscopic. I mean, they have a combined 27-point margin of victory in their 2 games. So I'm not going to knock it by one bit. Hey, if Cincinnati can't make it a game in the first quarter, I'm not going to be shocked if they get beat by more than 2 touchdowns. So
We shall see.
But hey,
Yeah.
Joe Burrow, congrats. You guys have made it here. Jimmy Garoppolo, congrats. You guys have fought tooth and nail to make it here.
I mean, just look at these 4 quarterbacks. This little pool. Look, very weird pool right now. But I'm just saying.
I mean, outside of
could never be named in Detroit. I'm like, we never could say.
I mean, outside of Josh Allen not being in the mix, that's the only thing that's really shocking here. I mean, I guess Jimmy Garoppolo is a little bit. It's a surprise to me only because the team has been hurt.
No, I understand.
So that's the only thing. But outside of that, this team is so good. I'm not surprised Jimmy Garoppolo is here. Not surprised by the Rams. Again, I've called this from day freaking one. Chiefs, I've called it from day one. Cincinnati is the major surprise of all surprises from the beginning of the season, from the beginning of the playoffs. Not a surprise at all. We actually predicted this would be the case. So that's that. I mean, outside of the fact that I picked Buffalo last week, but I almost got that damn right. Josh Allen.
Yeah, you did. Almost ain't get it though.
Not enough. And that's perfectly fine. I'll take my 7-3 record and I will go.
Green Bay almost won, but they didn't. So.
Yeah, that's true.
Ha.
And I'm happy about it.
That warms my heart.
And we got a good game with Chiefs Buffalo. We're gonna get a good game with Chiefs Cincinnati. The matchup between LA and San Francisco is a matchup for the ages.
That's the matchup that's supposed to carry us through the next week. So
that'll be a fun one to watch. So
which is fine by me. The Chiefs don't need another high-profile super. I mean, we already in a conference championship. You don't need to be any bigger than that.
That's pressure enough.
This was a nice deflating game for and I'm saying, man, I'm making this sound like Cincinnati has like zero chance. That's not what I'm saying. It's just.
It's a little bit of a reprieve.
The monster, and now anything that you
don't have to go against the number 1 defense in the NFL anymore.
No,
you can just trust your offense to go out there. You can get into. Hey, keep in mind, Cincinnati did win the original matchup between the two of them, 34-31, just a few weeks back. But that was also in Cincinnati. Cincinnati was fighting for something bigger than just making the playoffs. They actually won their division in that game, so they had so much grit there. Obviously, both of these teams are fighting for a Super Bowl berth, but
and wasn't that not the Chiefs' last loss?
Yeah, I would
think that was being the last. I'm just saying they haven't lost since the last time they met them.
Yeah, because they met them in week 17, I believe, and so they won their last game versus Denver, which was a little bit of a dogfight, but that's because they were resting guys and they were more focused on the playoffs in the first place. And then obviously they've won the last 2 games. So
4 weeks later, here we are.
I'm not surprised by the outcome at all. I'm happy about the matchups. I don't know about you. I think that these are good matchups on both sides. And I think the games are going to be good. I don't think the Cincinnati game is going to be a blowout versus Kansas City. I've already given my hot take on it. And I also think San Francisco is going to be a dogfight for LA, and it's going to be a hard-fought matchup. But I think LA is the healthiest and one of the most packed teams left in the playoffs. So,
just to be fair about these upsets, if there was a team that could knock the Rams out,
it would be the one in their division.
And it'd be the one who has handed them already 2 losses. I'm just saying, it's just the narratives have been written nicely. Don't think like, oh, we're getting lesser of a game because Tampa Bay and Green Bay got knocked out, or Buffalo was out, and Buffalo was the more sexier pick than Kansas City, and you know what I'm saying. These are legit matchups. Don't get it twisted, because the NFL is deep. You just shuffle the teams up a little bit. There's storylines, there's angles, there's things to be admired and be respected and clamoring for, regardless of what the matchup is. So
one thing to mention though about this game that I forgot to mention before we wrap up here: the Rams changed their ticket policy. If you don't live in the LA area, they are not allowing you to buy tickets to this game. They are trying to make it for sure San Francisco does not pack out the house like they did back in Week 18. Because if you remember that game, San Francisco came in. There was a lot of red in that SoFi Stadium. A lot of red.
Yeah, I remember that.
So they are doing whatever they can to make sure that does not happen again for these playoffs. Literally, their new ticket policy says that if you're not in the LA area, if you don't live in the LA area or have a primary residency or something like that, I don't know what the exact verbiage was, but it says that it will cancel your ticket purchase without notice.
Wow.
They just cancel it. So
think you're going to the game.
Yeah.
You better check it up all the way till you get to the gate.
That one I found insane. I don't know if the NFL is going to fine them for that, or I don't know if they have any jurisdiction over it.
I didn't even know they couldn't even do anything like that. That's interesting though.
It's insane, but hey, we better see the Rams fans pack it out then, because if they don't, that is a huge indictment on these Rams, the LA area as a whole. And I, as a franchise owner, even though it's a really nice place to have real estate, I would not want to have my franchise there if I can't get fans to come to this game.
No.
I thought they would have changed their ticket policy to like cut the amount of away tickets like down to like one section. And then make them an exorbitant price.
Right.
And then just hope that everything else plays out the way that they want
it would just be a hot ticket regardless.
I'm still expecting to see some San Francisco fans find a way, but
yeah,
it's not going to be what it was.
1/3 of the stadium should be the 49ers. That's just how it should be.
I think they're trying to keep it under 25%.
Just saying, it's a conference championship game. If there's ever a time for a fan base to travel, it would be this game.
Oh, for sure. For
that's
sure.
what I'm saying.
I mean, you're in San Francisco. You're not that far away.
Right.
Three-hour drive at the most?
Backyard, type of thing. It's like it's a home away from home either way in any version. It's like, man, look, dude, we, you're a couple, like you said, you just miles away. It's literally you're a drive. And here we are. It's not a road team. It's minimal travel. It's whatever it is. What it is. It's like we got to take a shuttle to the game.
Yeah.
It's kind of one of them type of things. So I like the matchups. Interesting teams. I mean, just the fact that the Bengals and the 49ers found a way. I mean, I don't think the Chiefs Rams is too much of a stretch. I understand. There's a lot of stuff going on in NFC, rightfully so. But there was a lot of other candidates where I can see if somebody didn't choose them as the final two teams going into, like, say, before the playoffs started or before we really got into the playoffs early in the season. I get that. There's 4 to 5 teams that you can make a legitimate case about, But the 49ers and the Bengals, if they was even ever in the conversation, it definitely wasn't preseason. And by midseason, it was on a back burner of a conversation.
The 49ers preseason could have been. It was just a matter of their health.
We talked to them about as a playoff contender, not as a Super Bowl
contender. Because we really don't talk about Super Bowl until the play starts. And so Cincinnati was not in the conversation at all about postseason play.
I was going to say the 49ers, the sentiment was not them getting – maybe you were. But mine was not them going anywhere near the Super Bowl.
They would have been a dark horse pick for me, but then they started getting injured, and I was like, oh, nope, well, that's it. But no, hey, they're here.
Right, and still here, which is interesting.
Well, that's going to do it for today's episode, guys. Thank you guys for listening. Let us know what we got wrong. I mean, you definitely can leave a comment down below. We'll have a discussion. We see them all. We reply to almost everyone. And let us know what we got wrong. Let us know what we got right. Let us know what your picks are, and we can have a conversation down below. But again, thank you guys for listening, and we will catch you guys in the next one. Enjoy football this weekend.
Have a good night, Red Kingdom.